Well, let's drink. It's 9 a.m. It's time to get wasted. Let's drink some wine. Hi everybody, I'm Bryan Hinschberger.
And I'm his brother, Paul Hinschberger.
Thus, we're the Wine Brothers coming at you live. We're not live. This is actually probably months down the road maybe that you're seeing this recording, but we totally changed shirts and all so that you don't even know it's the same day. We're today going to show you some really exciting wines from Txakoli country. So, Txakoli is in the Basque Country of Spain. So, I love the culture of the Basque people is amazing. You know, it's this thing that we don't all really understand, except, you know, Bonvivant Imports, we're actually based in Boise, Idaho. Boise, Idaho is the second largest population of Basque people outside of Basque Country, Spain/France. But Basque Country is basically nestled up in the twirl up. That's not a twirl. It's the swoop up.
Saddle.
The saddle of Spain, meeting into France. You have the Pyrenees Mountains that cut the border in between. Famous zone of San Sebastian, or city of San Sebastian, where some of the best seafood on the planet is. You know, at some of the greatest restaurants. That area is the Basque Country. Completely different culture, completely different language. It's pretty remarkable. And if there is one wine that really sums up the area, even though you can have Rioja, you can have some things over in France, Jurançon, Irulegui, Navarra. I would say, if you were to say what is the Basque wine, it is called Txakoli. The TX gives you a ch sound, so a little verbal.
Silent T, silent X. Non-silent chus.
Totally. That's how that works. So this is Bodegas Astobiza. Looks like Astobiza or Astobiza, but Astobiza. That is the pronunciation that I best am able to accrue. Astobiza is in a zone called the Alava, or Arabako. So there's 3 zones within Txakoli country. The oldest, back in 1972, I think the D.O. formed of Arabako Txakolina, which is right there on the water, you know, the tall green bottle where you have a little bit of spritz to your Txakoli. Then there's Txakolina Bizkaiko, or Bizkaiko Txakolina, and then the Arabako Txakolina, which is where this is from, also in Spanish called Alava. And down in the Alava, there's only a handful of wineries, but Astobiza is really kind of crushing the world. They're doing amazing things. This wine is insane. So I guess Paul's drinking, so we'll get started on where we're at. It makes sense.
Drink.
It makes sense. You gotta wet that palate.
Yeah.
This is their Txakoli. So there is no spritz. It's done in an elegant Bordelaise bottle. I didn't really mean to use the word elegant quite yet. The style is much more elegant, I would say, than the Guitarriaco style, where you have really abrasive, high acidity. You still have high acid here, but you're in it's a little bit more table food friendly, across the board, elegant style of Txakoli. What do you think of this?
It's delicious. I mean, it has like a very salinity, like crushed seashells kind of thing.
Crushed seashells?
Yeah.
Totally.
It's in a way, it reminds me of Chablis in a way. It's kind of has that, like as if you're licking like a scallop shell.
Yeah, you know when you lick scallop shells, without the salt, there's no extra, or no sand. There's no sand in there. You know, we're talking clean scallop shell. There is the brininess to it. There's a lot of kind of like that lemon pith, almost that bright lemon citrusy tone coming through. The grape here is called Handarabizuri. So all the grapes I'm going to be talking about are not your standard, you know, Chardonnay, Sauvignon Blanc type style wines. This is Handarabizuri, and actually a little bit of a grape called Handarabizuri Zuratie. This is
little brother like me.
It's the little brother. It's a different grape. It's in France. As you cross over into France, the grape is known as Petit Corbu. You know the rule. Petit Corbu. Yeah. Petit Corbu, Handrabizuri Zratier. Handrabizuri is the primary varietal, though, that we're drinking right here. Really bresh. Bright and fresh combined means bresh. So
I like that.
this is so I was kind of talking about location. They're tucked kind of up from the hills of Bilbao, so not quite so down on the water. I mean, this is close to 300 meters above sea level. Up in these beautiful rolling hills, the little village nearby is called Oquendo. And Astobiza basically was this dream foresight of Javier Abando. Javier, his father passed away when Javier was only 15, back in maybe the 50s, the 60s. And his father always had a dream of making wine, and so he one day was able to make his dream come true, and in the late 90s bought this little parcel of land, which is now turned into Astobiza. It's almost 10 hectares of fruit, all estate fruit too, which is awesome. You know, it's organically farmed fruit, very sustainable. It's amazing when you go there and walk the vineyards and you just kind of see last year's stems and pumice and everything that is the only fertilizer. And Javier kind of always has a hand in it. John Zubeldia, friendliest human being on the planet. I love John, he's amazing. He kind of runs the show, has a lot of hands in the wine as well. And then Ana Martin, a really extraordinary enologist that kind of helps the squad kind of form everything together to make this happen. Now, this is the Malcoa. Malcoa basically means tear or tears. So this is the free run juice only of Handrabizuri. 100% Handrabizuri, called the Malcoa. Go.
Oak influence?
No. Lee's time. Time with
I
Lee's,
would have guessed it had some oak on it.
Totally.
It kind of has like that nuttiness, almost like a oak-aged Chablis, actually. Like it kind of, both of them remind me of different types of Chablis.
Which, if you're thinking Chablis in a box, cheap wine.
No.
This is like Chablis. Chablis is real. I mean, we're talking Chablis is one of the most quintessential regions in the world for white wine. Chardonnay from France. It's amazing. So that is definitely only a high compliment to call this very comparable to Chablis.
Very comparable.
Just want to make sure you know what I'm saying. So yeah, Lee's aged for close to 5 months.
Okay.
Decently regular stirring, not necessarily like on a machine schedule by any means. But this is the free run juice, really pure, but at the same time, like there's texture. There's this wonderful kind
texture and still acid. In fact, when you said that it meant tears, I was kind of getting like tears.
It was choking you up.
No, it's because you know how like when you eat a whole package of Sour Patch Kids and it like kind of makes you like sweat almost and like tear up a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
There's like a certain acidity in this that like kind of makes me like break out a little bit, but it's like in a cool like I don't know. I like Sour Patch Kids. But
You're just Malcoian all over.
Yeah.
I dig it. It's a beautiful wine. These wines are extraordinary, and if you haven't noticed, the packaging of these wines is amazing. Yon is the way to say his name up in this zone. Yon has a good buddy who is an amazing artist, so kind of hand drew the whole label packaging and idea to kind of talk about how they do everything by hand. You know, this is hand grown fruit, hand done everything, and the wines are beautiful, especially in a zone that is very easy to kind of factory produce wine. Now this, my friends, is Txakoli Rosado. Txakoli Rosé is a super hip thing. Not so much up in Txakoli country, but definitely here in America, we love our Txakoli Rosé. It's high acid, super fresh, super bright. And this, as you can tell, the color is gorgeous. It's very Provençal style, that kind of right in the Mediterranean in France where you find lighter pink, not that big extraction with lots of time on the skins. This is, pulled off the skins after a few hours. And this is a blend. So this is Handrabizuri, 50%, the white grape we've been talking about, and the red Handrabi is called Handrabi Belfa. So this is 50-50 Handrabizuri, Handrabi Belfa. Comes together and makes this beautiful pink wine.
I put it up against any French rosé there is. I mean, it's really delicious.
You heard it right here, folks.
Everything you want in a rosé. It's like bright and fresh and refreshing. It's fresh.
This is straight up fresh. And you know what I like about this, you almost get like a green strawberry. Have you had many green strawberries? It's hip. It's a thing. Just say yes.
Okay.
It has this berry tone, but they're so restrained. It's not, you know, it's really easy to find berries in rosé wine. But what I like about this is it's a green berry. There's juice to it, but it's still, you know, there's still that minerality, that seashell acidity that we're finding in this. Where I'm still, I'm not quite Malcoing as much as during the Malcoa, but definitely finding that freshness, that bright acidity. This is sexy rosé. I love it. I love it.
Super sexy.
And this is one of those, you know, three. Where are you going?
I'm sorry, I have realized that I didn't open the last wine, so I'm gonna.
Oh yeah, you didn't open the last one. Good work. So, cool thing about this rosé also is, you know, they only produce 350 cases a year, and we take all of it in America. Every box that we can get, it's a big old brawl each spring. Everybody's like so excited about Astobiza Txakoli. You know, it's crazy. It's wild. But I understand. Oh yeah. I understand as well because this wine it's ripping. It's beautiful. And now let's get into Txakoli dessert wine. This is a late harvest Txakoli. It is the only one of its kind from what I know. Nobody's making this. And what's really cool is, you know, when you cross over into France, there's a little tiny area called Jurançon. Jurançon is a late harvest dessert, beautiful region where they work with Gros Manseng as the primary grape. So this is 100% Gros Manseng. It's called Izquierota, is the local Basque name for the grape. So Izquierota, 100% late harvest, so you get lots of sugar concentration. Dude, is this not insane?
That's delicious.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel weird. I keep referencing France in this because I don't want, like, they're different and they're their own. But, like, I mean,
have you had a Jurançon this good?
No, but it could easily be like Jurançon. Like, it kind of has a similar flavor profile, and but this has.
It has so much. It goes forever.
It's not as cloying for me. It's
totally. The acid is there, which is, you know, we're in a zone where there's a lot of sea influence, obviously, you know, kind of high up, a lot of intense breezes in the afternoon. So the freshness, while still complementing the sweetness, is dynamite.
Yeah, for sure.
Isn't that beautiful?
That's great.
I tasted this out of tank before it was ever bottled, and it was fairly fresh. It was still, like, you know, in its early stages, and I'm drinking like, yeah, it's really good. You know, they're like, this is gonna spend several more months, and then we're gonna bottle age, and it's gonna really be good. I'm like, yeah, cool, nice. Like, it's a dessert wine. Then, after that aging, after that time in bottle, first time I tried it, I was like, oh, I bet it's gonna taste. Oh my god! Like, it really took my brain apart and helped me realize that I have no idea how to see the future nearly as much as a good winemaker who can taste something like you.
Like myself.
You know, like when Paul tastes a young wine, he's like, in 2.67 years, this is going to mature out to be extraordinary. That happens all the time.
I say it just like that, too.
Just like that. So here's this beautiful small family property in the hills of Oquendo, up in the Arabako or the Alava of Txakoli country, outside of Bilbao. These guys are doing dynamite work. It's really incredible. They've made quite a great name for them. Jon represents everything, and Jon is you love this guy. He's the best. And their wines are gorgeous, super fresh, super bright. Find some, get them, enjoy them, and until then, cheers.
Cheers.